Hello there, Rocketeers of the intranet, and welcome to our first episode of the Rocket Podcast. I am here with my good friend Alex. Alex, say hi to the good people.
Hi, good people.
Well, just before we get into the podcast, I do want to say that any views or opinions you might hear in this podcast are just that. Do not take anything as 100% fact, because it's not, and we're probably well underqualified to talk about anything that we talk about in this podcast. Am I correct?
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, obviously, this being a Rocket League podcast and all, I think it's only good that we talk about the new Rocket League expansion coming out. And I mean, Alex, I know you've done a bit more research into this, so I'll let you take the lead on that one. Just go for it.
All right. So to start off, the most obvious thing, it's called Rocket League Rumble. So Rumble is going to be it's going to be basically Rocket League football matches, hoops, snow days, whatever, with power-ups. Right? It's pretty basic, you know.
Yeah.
And you have the 4v4, which is just a clusterfuck. Let's be real. And
Yeah.
could you imagine that with fucking power-ups? I think
It's going to be absolutely crazy.
I think that would be pretty interesting to see. But it's like a few plus points. It's free, so that's a good thing. It is coming out in September, and I think they added absolutely a few interesting power-ups, I should say. Like the ones that they added, they are, I don't know, it's interesting to see how they are going to work, because I have the list of them open right here, and I'm just going to take one that I not really understand real quick, and it is swap up. So basically what it does, it changes your position with someone from your opponent team, so you will switch out with someone on their team, right? But the thing is that I don't really understand is, what if this guy is a goalie, right? And the ball is literally at your goal, and you use a swapper thing, and it transports you to his goal, and he is in your place, and he can just kick the ball in.
Yeah, that one does seem a bit odd. I mean, from what I've seen of the trailer, I did watch it briefly. I mean, and I was kind of in awe by it. There's so much going on. But some of them, I just think it's going to make the game next to impossible to play competitively. Like, it is literally just going to be jump on with a few friends and have a laugh. Like, I mean, like you said, there's so many pair-ups, and I think the one I'll probably be using the most is the boot, because I'll just be kicking people left, right, and centre. That looks awesome.
To be honest, how will they, like, is it like, are the power-ups going to be like pickups that you pick up, or is it like going to be just randomizing?
I hope it's something that you can actually pick up. I think if it's random, I mean, maybe you'll have to drive into a box and it'll give you a random pickup. I hope people don't just get pair-ups for sitting in goal, because that would suck. I mean, obviously there's those people who do just hang in the net, and that's fine if that's the way they want to play. But personally, it just doesn't agree with me. I prefer to be out in the field and getting in the thick of it, as you've seen, Alex, when we play together.
You know, I've been thinking about this, but I think the best one that could possibly be, you know, when cars fly, if two people fly for the ball and one of them uses the boot and he just pisses off, I think that would be hilarious to see.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's going to make for some really good replays and whatnot. But like I said, competitive gameplay, it's just going to be impossible. I mean, there's that one with the spike where you can literally attach the ball to your car when you hit it. I mean, you're literally just going to be able to aerial and carry that into the other person's net, unless obviously they boot you out of the way, which I'm hoping it works out quite well, but it just looks like another 4v4 clusterfuck, to be honest. 4v4 is bad enough, let's face it.
Honestly, I don't even think they are going to bother supporting that specific game mode with ranked matches. I don't think that will be a thing. But you do have the normal exhibition ones, so I think you can even use the power-up mode against AI. So if you want to, try tactics, I don't even know how you will be using tactics for power-ups, but I think The one that really is interesting is the tornado one.
I haven't actually seen that one.
Well, okay, so basically what it does what a tornado does, like it just picks you up and spins you around in a million fucking ways. But the thing is, if you, for example, if you and I are on a team, right, against two other, and I use the tornado, will it make it as your team will not be picked up by the tornado?
I would hope so, because that would suck.
Because I think you don't want to be working against your team now, would you?
No.
Also,
that's what I mean.
Power hitter allows you to hit everything harder. So, is that if you hit a car, he will just fly off into space, or is it only going to affect if you hit the ball? Because if you hit the ball, you know, it obviously it's just going to piss off into the net if you know, line up the shot. You know,
I would say that it's probably going to affect everything, as including your teammates, actually, because, I mean, bumping into your teammates is something that's unavoidable, especially when you use ball cam sometimes. But I think they'll probably implement it so literally everything you touch gets flung off, just to make it that little bit more hectic.
Honestly, like, you could do literally the most stupid things with these power-ups ever. I think freezer up, like that power up called freezer, is probably going to be the best one if you're a goalie, because what it does is literally just freezes the ball where it is.
Yeah.
Right, but another question, right? If does the ball unfreeze as soon as you hit it, or is the freeze just a temporary thing where it's like freeze for 10 seconds and then it just unfreezes and falls in place where it is?
What, you mean like if someone actually hits it for like 10 seconds, it will just stay there, just dead completely?
So if, for example, just imagine the ball being freezed in the middle of the field, right?
Yeah.
Is it going to unfreeze as soon as you hit it, or will it just be freeze for 10 seconds until someone hits it?
I would hope that it's going to be it just unfreezes as soon as someone hits it. I mean, that's going to work out pretty well. I mean, there's going to be some really creative ways to score goals in this. That's one thing that I do really like. Watching the trailer,
I think it would be stupid if you use a freeze and the ball is just a rock. Like it doesn't move anymore. So that's going to be stupid. Any other that are really interesting? You know, the boot, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's just you kick someone's car away. The disruptor forces your opponent to drive uncontrollably. I think that would be pretty interesting to see as well. If you use that disruptor on someone, on a goalie, for example, he's about to save the goal, you use that disruptor, he can't control his car, and the ball just flies in. I
think what that pair up will be, you know, in GTA 5 on these power play games, have you played them?
I have, I think. I did.
What it does is when someone gets a certain pair up in that game, it just flips your controls. So I think that's probably what that'll do. So it'll probably be something you can manage if you're like quite ambidextrous and quick on your feet. But for most people, that is going to be absolute hell. I mean, for me,
that would be horrible if you want to fly.
Yeah, for me, that is going to screw me up.
I don't want to be hit by that.
No, definitely not.
Grappling. Wait. Another thing, if you can stack up your power-ups and use them, like, okay, so if you have the grappling hook, it just pulls you towards the ball, right? But if you compare, not compare, but if you combine the grappling hook and the spike, it will, you know, the grappling hook will take you to the ball and the spike will attach the ball to your car. If you can use those two at once, I think that will be absolutely overpowered as balls.
Yeah, I mean, in the trailer, it does look like you can stack them somehow, which obviously I hope isn't the case, because, like you said, there's going to be certain ones that if you get them in the right order, you're absolutely going to kill it. You're going to smash everyone.
Yeah,
there's going to be no way of people saving it. So I mean, hopefully they're not stacked and you only get one at a time, similar to games like Mario Kart and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably.
I think that's where they're trying to go with it.
I've seen a few people actually comparing this DLC to Mario Kart, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hectic, innit? I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong. I like Hoops as well. That was a really good DLC, and I think Psyonix have really like held true to their promise of keeping the game's DLC free. But as let you know earlier, microtransactions are actually coming to the game, which I was a little bit disappointed about. I mean, there's that typical, oh my god, they've sold out. But
Well, you know what the thing is? I don't mind microtransactions because you have microtransactions that are like mobile games, right?
Yeah.
Those have like for example, if you have there was this one game, but I can't remember its name, but basically you have to dig out blocks in the game, right? But one block takes up to it's like an hour to 24 hours for one block, and of course you can speed it up with these gems or diamonds or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But basically that will make you buy the gems. Like, it doesn't fuck up it. Well, it does fuck up the gameplay completely, but I hope, because they will add the microtransactions, it doesn't give other people advantages over other people that do not buy microtransaction stuff, because if that is a thing, that will be absolutely stupid.
Yeah, I do think that it's genuinely just like aesthetic items, like new hats and stuff. But one thing I do want to touch on, which I think Rocket League have done really well, and I'm not 100% sure if this is true, but in a video when this was actually leaked, the person who made the video actually said that you're going to be able to disable it completely, which I think is good for parents that have got kids that play games like this and don't want that feature in the game, which obviously mobile games and stuff like that, there's no way to turn that off, and a lot of parents get in a lot of trouble when their kids spend £50-60 or $50-60 on a game for money that they just don't have, and there's no real way to get that back. So I've got to take my hat off to Psyonix for that one. That was really impressive. So I do hope that's true.
We have all seen those internet articles where a kid buys over $5,000 worth of stupid cars on FIFA 16 or something.
I think FIFA's probably the worst culprit. I can imagine a lot of parents ban their kids from that game.
I mean, it's EA, right? So
yeah,
but
let's not get into that too much.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we start about EA, we could fucking talk about this for ages. But anyway, fuck that subject. But as you said, take your hat off. I have to fucking, oh god, I have to like agree with that, because I think a lot of games do not think about such things as kids, and probably they think this way. Like, okay, I think kids, if they play the game, they won't touch the prizes thing, alright? But if they do, and they actually do buy stuff, they won't care because they get money, right? But I think Psyonix, they obviously have to care about the money that they get, but I think they have to be on this level to be careful with kids that play the game, because it's a game that is child friendly, I suppose, but it's not wanting to be that. But it's a football game. It's just cars. There's nothing violent about the game. It's absolutely kids friendly. Kids will obviously play the game, and as you said, if they do give you the option to close off microtransactions, I think parents will actually do that. Yeah. To just, to fucking not be their money gone.
I mean, me personally, I think I'll turn it off just so I don't get tempted to buy them, because I'm absolutely dreadful when it comes to stuff like that. But obviously, coming off the back of that as well, I don't know if you heard about this whole thing with CSGO, how obviously now all the gambling sites have closed down because kids were being allowed to gamble, and it was kind of legal because of a stupid legal loophole, because they weren't actually gambling with money. But it's nice to see a company that's actually taking care of the younger generation rather than just throwing them into gambling at the age of 8. It's ridiculous. But another game that I do want to talk about, which I'm feeling quite strongly about at the minute, and one man in particular deserves a fist shoved up his arse and get turned into a lollipop with Sean Murray and NoMansSky. Now, one thing that I hate about this, talking about this subject, is there's going to be people in the comments that say that the game was overhyped, and that is not the case whatsoever. I mean, yeah, there probably were a few people with unrealistic expectations for it, but that developer is the sweaty sleazebag liar I have ever seen. Like, I sent you that little clip before we started this podcast, Alex, and literally, how many features did he say were going to be in this game, and it turned out to be complete bullshit?
Well, when I watched it, obviously, I haven't played the game, but you talked about it, and you've made a video on it, and I watched that, obviously. But it's surprisingly, like, he talks about multiplayer. It's not a thing, and if it will be a thing eventually, I don't know. I would like it to be, because can you imagine, like, going from planet to planet with two people? But it's weird, But I think there was this other game, World of Warcraft. Yes, that was the same with the previous expansion. I played that game, right? And they said a lot of stuff that they were about to add in Warlords of Draenor, right? And in the end, there was nothing. They said there was going to be this PvP island that was absolutely massive with siege engines, destructible towers, buildings, whatever, etc., etc. But in the end, the island that they built was small as fuck. It was really repetitive, real quick, and it didn't have siege engines. It didn't have destructible buildings. It didn't all have that stuff. And in No Man's Sky, I think it's the same situation, that they talk about exciting stuff, and the exciting stuff doesn't make the end game. But I do have hopes that they will update the game over the few months and actually do add features that they talked about, because also animals, there's not a lot of variation I've seen. So that could be a thing they can work on. Planets, like, that many planets are useless, let's be real. But I mean, do the planets have a lot of variation, or is it like a lot of the same stuff?
I mean, to be honest, dude, like I've spoken to you about before, you can tell from the file size, like 2.5 gigabytes, there was never going to be a great deal of anything in the game. But I mean, it's not just the multiplayer that annoys me. I mean, to be honest, I can live without the multiplayer. It's a lot of the features that he said were going to be in the game, which, I mean, I would have been happy just with the game that's come out now if he hadn't have spewed all this extra bullshit. I mean, there's one thing he's talking about in an interview on about light boxes and how the planets aren't just going to be static and there's going to be planetary physics. And he actually made a joke about how shitty light boxes are. And then when the game comes out, there's absolutely no planetary physics. They're not orbiting. They're not orbiting around a sun. They're not orbiting around each other. They're not spinning on an axis, as far as I know. I mean, it's just the basic things that should be in a space game, and there are so many more games, like Star Citizen, that do it so much better for the same price. And I mean, that's the worst thing about this game. They've sold it as a AAA game, or at the price of a AAA game. Obviously, everyone knows that they're an indie developer, but there was just so much shit that they left out of the game, and I'd have been happy to wait an extra 3 months. They could have delayed the game for an extra 3 months and put all the stuff in they said they were going to put in, and I would have been a very happy person. And I mean, it's just, there was a video earlier I was watching about this, and there's so many people that say Sean Murray lying about it on public, like, transmissions, and there weren't adverts as such, but they were him in an interview talking about the game. And so many people are saying that this isn't false advertising, but actually, when Sean does an interview and it's broadcast publicly, obviously that's going to affect how many people buy his game, because obviously he's spreading the word on it. So it's actually classed as marketing, and as far as I can tell, what they've done is completely illegal. But I mean, I'm not going to go down the route of looking into that properly, but if you ask me, it's just blatant false advertising, and they need a rod sticking up their arse. That's Literally, it's that simple. I mean, it's just ridiculous, dude. I'm gonna stop talking about it because I could just go on forever and rant about this all night. But I think you wanted to talk about Forza Horizon 3, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually want to do that, but before we jump on Forza Horizon 3, I actually do want to talk about the planetary physics that they said that would be a thing.
Yeah.
There's a game, Kerbal Space Program, I think you know it, and even that game has, you know, the spinny roundy things, the orbiting and stuff. But it really surprises me because in No Man's Sky you have the lonely planets, right? But how do they all spin around one sun?
No, it's a light box. The light box spins around all the entire thing. Like, if you imagine when you visit a star system, there's say 5 static stars, and they're contained in a box, and on the outside of that box is a sun or a light. It's not actually a sun; it's just like a lens flare that orbits around to create the night and day cycles, which is an absolute cop out. A space game should have planetary physics, and I mean, anyone who can't implement that, especially after the amount of time they've had with this game, the physics engine, if you ask me, should have been one of the things they worked on first. It's a fucking space game. Like, what was he thinking? Well, not just him. I mean, a lot of people are throwing all the hate at Sean Murray, but obviously he was like the lead developer and the lead spokesman for it. And that's probably the worst problem about this, is because they had a developer that really wanted to create this amazing game, and he just built it up in his mind to something it could never be. I think that's the main issue. I think having a lead developer as the lead spokesperson for a game, it can be amazing at one point because you can see this bright idea and he really wants it to come to fruition, but he just failed miserably and let down so many people in the process. And oh my god, let's talk about the performance of it as well, actually, while we're on the subject, because after these patches that have came out, it's been brilliant, but for people, for the first 3, 4, 5 days, it was absolute hell. Even on console, people are having trouble, and obviously on PC, if you played a game for over 2 hours on Steam, they refuse to refund it no matter what. This game was broken, and I mean, I spent 2 hours trying to get this thing to work, and Steam would not refund me for it. Just no. I tried and tried and tried. I even tried to go down the legal route with them. I contacted Citizens Advice, which is like the people who in the UK you go to for legal advice and stuff, and basically they said I could do something about it, but I'd need a lawyer, and obviously I haven't got that kind of money, and it's not worth it for a £40 game. But we shouldn't be living in a society where we have to take shit like this lying down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, when you talk about, when you mention fucking Steam Refund, there's something funny I wanted to, just talk about real quick. Space Engineers, do you know that game?
I've heard of it, I haven't actually played it.
Yeah, so when I bought it, I played it with my friend, and after a few hours I was bored of it. I just didn't want the game anymore, and then I decided to try and refund it, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that you could refund Steam games, so I looked it up on Google, found how to do it, so I did it, and actually it was more than 2 weeks played, I put more than 20 hours in it, and actually it did actually allow me to refund the game, which is funny because the reason that I used did not even get close. You didn't get the option to say I don't want this game anymore. I chose the option that the game runs shit on my computer.
Yeah.
They accepted that. I got my money back, and it's just ridiculous, right? So you genuinely can't play the game because of performance, and you can't get it refunded. You didn't have the game for 2 weeks, and you haven't played it for 20 hours. And I didn't want the game anymore. I used a fake kind of reason, and I still got it refunded.
That really annoys me, actually, because obviously my game actually doesn't work and they won't refund it. I mean, it does work now. I've got to be honest, they did patch it fairly quickly, so I can't complain too much. But that that just shows how the refund system can work in some cases, and then there's people like me who really struggle to get it to work. It's kind of sad, to be honest. I mean, Valve's customer service is appalling anyway. I don't know if you've had any experience actually speaking to any of their customer service representatives, but they're not brilliant.
I've never really got into support because I rather figure it out myself and fix it myself than call a dude that probably won't even be able to help me.
Yeah. I mean, on the subject of Steam, we may as well talk about this story that I read up on today. I actually heard about it from The Know, which is a YouTube channel that just does gaming news and stuff like that. And the Epic co-founder, which is Epic Games, so you've obviously heard of them. Basically, he's saying that Microsoft are going to force patch a shit ton of stuff over the next 5 years in order to make Steam buggy and unworkable to the point where people get fed up and move over to the Windows Store, which is obviously what Microsoft want everything linked to in the end. I'll just read off one of the quotes. It won't be that one day they flip a switch that will break your Steam library. What they're trying to do is a series of sneaky maneuvers. I love how he words that. They make it more and more inconvenient to use old apps, and simultaneously they try to become the only source for new ones. Now, I've got to be honest, I don't think this is going to be the case at all, because Microsoft have actually said that they want to start putting some games on Steam, which I'm really happy about. I mean, we've got this big Forza Horizon 3 coming out, and if that's on Steam, I'm going to be really happy. But either way, I'm probably going to get that game anyway. But yeah, I just love how he words certain things in the statement that he made. He actually said that Microsoft might not be competent enough to succeed with their plan. I mean, what a hit at them, basically calling them dumb fucks. That's brilliant.
Unbelievable, but it's interesting. Anyway, you talked about the Windows Store and Forza Horizon 3 possibly coming to Steam.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The Microsoft Store, I think it's only available on Windows 10. And they said Forza Horizon 3 will only be available on Windows 10. And if they are going to put the game on Steam, how will it work with people that do not have Windows 10 and actually chose to keep Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1? How is that going to work for them? Will it restrict them from buying the game, not buying the game, but downloading the game because of their system not meeting the requirements?
That would be a shame, but like I said, I mean, it's by no means set in stone that they're going to start putting games on Steam. It's just, I know they've said that they eventually would like to. Whether that's going to be just around the corner, I've got no clue. But it would be a shame for people who have stayed with their old system and their old operating system, Windows 8, because personally I hate Windows 10, and if I could go back I would do it in a heartbeat, but yeah, I just can't. So yeah, it would be a shame for those people to miss out, especially if games do come to Steam but will only run on Windows 10. That would suck.
Well, I downloaded Forza Motorsport 6 Apex, which was like the experimental beta for PC. That was like their first step to PC gaming when it came down to Forza Horizon, because everyone knows Forza has always been an Xbox exclusive, right? And actually seeing them taking steps towards PC gaming was, for me personally, really exciting.
Yeah.
Because I love fucking cars, you know that. And seeing another good racing game, I suppose, it's not simulation like Project Cars, Assetto Corsa, etc. But I mean, for me personally, Forza Horizon 3, I always really wanted to play the game, but I didn't want to spend money on an Xbox. So seeing that come into Windows 10 is, for me, very, very exciting. But also because I have played Forza Motorsport 6, the performance on my PC was kind of bad. I mean, obviously it's a new platform for them, so optimization has to be a new thing they have to get used to. And And also another thing, while I'm thinking about it, you have to pay to play online on Xbox. How is that going to work on PC? Because if you play the game, it has Forza Horizon 3 will support 4-player co-op in the story mode, but will you be able to play that game without having to pay to play online? Or if you choose not to pay, may it just be you lonely in a giant world driving around your car by yourself? Or will they I don't think they will make the Xbox online pay thing go away on the consoles. I don't think that will be happening. But it's definitely interesting to see how they are going to handle that specific thing on PC. I'm like, one side of me is like worried that it is going to be a thing, but the other side is like, it's a Forza game, it's PC, so I don't think they are going to put the online in, like the paying thing. It might be happening, it might not, I don't know. I hope it's not going to happen personally, but I think we should just wait and see until they release more information. But I also don't think that will be happening because it's on releases 1 month away now.
Yeah,
27th.
I mean, I've got to be honest, dude. I think that with the way they're going to implement it, you're going to have to download it from the Microsoft Store, but then you're going to have to play it through the Xbox Windows 10 app. And I do think they're going to make you pay for Xbox Live Gold, which is obviously like £6 a month or £30 to £40 a year. I mean, I don't think they're going to give you the option to play it online for free just because it's on PC. I just don't see them doing that. It would be nice if they would, but like you said, it's a Forza game, and regardless, people are probably going to play it anyway, even if they do have to pay for the Xbox Live Gold. I'm quite lucky. Is from when I had my console, I've still probably got around 6 months of Xbox Live Gold left that I haven't got a console now. So hopefully I'll still have some of that when I get the game, and I won't have to pay for it.
Yeah, because I can see bad things happen when they do not use the paying thing on PC, because then Xbox people will be mad that they have to pay to play online, but PC doesn't have to play, and then #PC Master Race. But that will be fucking annoying,
Yeah.
When you seriously have to pay for it. I just hope it won't happen. But like when you brought up that point, one side of me is now saying it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it would just be a PR clusterfuck for Microsoft. I don't think. Then again, they don't really give a shit. Well, I mean, when these big companies make fuck-ups, they tend to just brush it under the carpet and ignore it. And their reputation gets smeared for all of like a month, and then everyone just forgets about it and moves on. So it's nothing too major for them. They don't really care whether people are pissed off or not, let's face it.
No.
I mean, it's like YouTube.
Go on.
It's like YouTube. There's so much shit going on at the minute with... I'm going to name drop here and just drop Leafy in the mix. Because there's so much shit going on at the minute in the YouTube community where basically YouTube ignore certain people because they're making them so much money. Like I said, big companies just... They don't care. A few people's opinions and people shouting angry comments online just doesn't affect them. Something bigger needs to happen, because you look at Leafy's videos and he hides behind this fucking satire shield, which is obvious bullshit. I mean, you saw the video that I made the other night, and I kind of dropped him into that, where he says the girl who did the 100 Layers of Cum video looks like a pig that had escaped from the slaughterhouse. And in that video I said whether he uses the word satire or not, that shouldn't give him the right to say anything that he wants to about anyone. That's absolutely ludicrous. I mean, what person in the right mind thinks that is okay? And I just don't understand how he's got so many fans that egg him on to do this stuff. The guy needs shooting, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree, like, sometimes he is fucking harsh, but I mean, he makes a shit ton of money right now, and he can say he doesn't care about the money or whatever, but in the end, it makes him so fucking happy because he has all this money just because of shit talking about other people.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think he really cares about it, really, to be honest.
No, he doesn't, and that's the thing. YouTube doesn't care because not only is Leafy making himself a ton of money, YouTube's making a ton of money off Leafy because of the amount of ad revenue that he rakes in. I mean, this guy exploded. He's got, 4.2 million subscribers now?
I think it's sitting around 4.6 nowadays.
Holy shit. See, that's what I mean. That's how quickly he's growing. He's growing rapidly. And I think what YouTube are doing, they did actually remove one of his videos the other week, and it was some feminist rant that he did, and they removed it, but I'm pretty sure it got reinstated. But the way they work, what I think they're doing personally is removing one of his videos to make it look like they're actually following up with these flag reports, because his videos must get flagged to high heaven, dude, let's face it. Like, probably 20%, maybe 10% of the people that end up on his channel end up flagging his videos, and if they don't, there's something seriously wrong with them, because I don't get how anyone can think any of the stuff that he says is okay. I mean, the guy's a complete moron. He picks on women and children, let's face it. Like, that's like 90% of his channel.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he does actually, like, target people and just murders them.
Yeah. I
mean, like, I had something on the tip of my tongue, but I forgot it. I think I'm trying to remember now. Oh, fuck it. If I can't remember, it's irrelevant. Just fucking hell. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, remember when he made a video on this one guy, and he had autism, right? But obviously, Leafy didn't know that. Okay, and I'm kind of on his side because he didn't know it, but on the other hand, he can get back to it because you could say he just didn't have to pick on this dude.
Yeah.
But either way, if he had autism or not, he still picked on him, so it doesn't really make a difference.
No, I mean, whether he had autism or not, if you ask me, is irrelevant. But on the subject of autism, Keemstar actually did an interview with an autistic guy, and I mean, if you watch the interview, it's very fucking questionable. Like, Keemstar's talking about his sex life and everything. It's just really, really, like, unnecessary. And, you know, while I'm on this fucking rant about YouTubers that are being arseholes, we actually watched the Baited Podcast episode 5, didn't we, earlier on today? And holy fucking shit. Keemstar.
My arse off.
Keemstar.
Such a fucking kid, dude.
If you ever see this video, Keemstar, you are your own worst enemy. I mean, he apologises at the end of the podcast for acting the way he did, but that's no excuse. This is what Keemstar thinks. He thinks he can just spew all this shit and then say sorry, and everyone's going to forget about it and forgive him. That is not the way the internet works. Like,
yeah, but his channel is going to shit now. Right?
Yeah, I mean, he's actually slowly gaining subscribers again now, I think. I
don't even know. Just like I said, I don't follow his channel anymore.
See, I'll follow it to kind of see, like, just to keep up with the news. Like I told you earlier, I watch Scarce and Keemstar just to keep up with what's going on. Because I mean, I do like to be involved and just witnessing the drama on the YouTube community. Because most of it's just laughable bullshit. Let's face it, and people tend to take anything that either Scarce. Well, mainly Scarce. If Scarce says something, it must be true. And Scarce, you need to stop sucking Leafy's dick, because you're just so scared that Leafy is going to roast you that you never say anything negative about him. And even when he's clearly in the wrong, you're too busy fucking. You've got a mouthful of Leafy balls. That's all it is. Like, it's ridiculous. Most of the drama in this community, and it doesn't help when the people who read the news off are so biased in their opinion.
Yeah.
If you ask me, a news channel needs to be unbiased. Like, obviously, when you watch BBC News in the UK, if someone kills someone, they don't say, "Oh my god, this guy's a fucking cunt." They just have to read the fucking news. You know what I mean? Just read the news. It's a shame that it is the way it is, but like the president's already been set. It is the way it is now, and that's the way it's going to stay, because that's how it's all been started. I mean, it's such a shame.
I mean, fucking, they make money, so they just don't care. I mean, maybe there's a spark in them that says, I really want my fans to have the best of the best, and I don't want to lie to them, and this and that. But you can say as much as that ass-licking bullshit, but in the end, you make money, you're happy, you're going to continue making videos either way. Try not to change because of the amount of money you get, but it will influence you either way, right? If you get money, it will probably change you, right? It can be better, it can be worse. Most of the time it's worse, and I think Keemstar can apply to this as well. At the beginning of his channel, I really liked it, right? I actually watched his videos earlier, I really liked it, but then he had the fame, he got money, and then he just changed for the worse, and it was absolutely fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like, when he got into that whole fight with Leafy as well, that is still going on to this day, he just got so much hate, and he acts like he's being the victim of everything, He was in a video saying literally racist shit, like, Alex is a stupid da-da-da-da-da, you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to hide that by, people saying he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that, and he's trying to debunk them, but the reasons that he's doing, like, making the points that he's making, it's absolute bullshit, and he still wonders why he's still getting hate, but he's just a cunt, to be honest. The things that he says as well, like, he's absolutely the biggest hypocrite ever. As well, like, there was this guy, Smile for YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he, on his stream that Keemstar was doing, he released every single thing about his personal information, phone numbers, girlfriend phone numbers, addresses, names, everything, and that is just the most scummiest thing you can possibly do. And I think Smile for YouTube can probably sue him because of that, because it's private information, and he wasn't allowed probably to release that information at all to the public. And it's Keemstar, he has probably a few hundred of thousand people watching his stream, so if you have those handful of trolls or dickheads in the chat, they will save that information, probably swatting them, like swatting this guy as well, which is a very, like, that is horrible. Like, don't do that, cops have better things to do than fucking go in a house, you just don't call the cops on someone. That is just the stupidest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Like, they have to handle real shit every day. That is just facts, right? But when a dude just calls, oh yeah, this dude at this address, he has a gun, I heard gunshots, this and that. When they arrive at the house and there's absolutely nothing going on, do you think that the SWAT/cops can actually laugh at that?
No, I think he actually ended up getting swatted in the end. I did watch a video by Small for YouTube. He did get swatted, as far as I know. Like I said, whether it was fake or not, but it looked quite real. But like you said about why is Keemstar still getting hate? Did you see his video, Why Am I Still Getting Hate?
Well, I've seen sections of it, but I couldn't be bothered watching it all.
Yeah, well, basically, like I said at the start of this, he's his own worst enemy. And Keemstar, you're still getting hate because you're a prick, and you do things and then say sorry for them, which, to be honest, is kind of pathetic. You should just keep your ugly mouth shut. But saying sorry for things on the internet doesn't get you anywhere, dude. It is permanently archived and stored away, and people are going to drudge it up constantly. So the best thing the guy could do is just hand Drama Alert over to someone else, which he did for a little bit, and I was quite happy about. He gave it to some other guy who hosted it, and it was actually really enjoyable again, but then he decided to come back off his little mental breakdown, and he started hosting again, which it's a big shame. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in the community at the minute, and we'll probably pick up on a lot of that in the next episode. I mean, I think we've said all we can say on Keemstar and Leafy, because, like you said earlier, we could just rant on this forever.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we are going to end this episode there, guys. I am so loving this. I mean, me and Alex, we did take a little break halfway through because our microphone screwed up. So we spoke about how much we're enjoying it, and honest to God, I'm really looking forward to making a lot more videos like this.
Yep. And maybe, you know, when the time comes, maybe we can have guests on it, friends of ours, or maybe further down the line, maybe people like you guys. I don't know. Like, we have a Discord chat, we have that all set up, and we will leave the Discord link in the description, so click that if you want to join. You know, we will be in there most of the time playing games, probably. There are different channels, so that you have the 2v2. It's obviously Rocket League. You have 2v2, 3v3, 4v4, hoops, whatever it is, and you know, you can talk, you can chat, you can voice chat with other people. We will be managing the server constantly, so if you join, you know, it's self-explanatory, really. If you want to join, go ahead. We may talk to you, you know. We will say hi most of the time. We will be there, and you will see. You can suggest stuff for us to talk about. If you really want a subject to be mentioned, you can like go, oh, this is a big thing at the moment, or this is something I've wondered. Just bring it up, and we'll see what we can do. If we don't know anything about it, we will just do research on it and go from there.
Yeah, and while we're on the subject of links in the description, like Alex said, the Discord link will be in the description, and obviously mine and Alex's individual gaming channels will be in there. I mean, I upload a bit of everything, to be honest. It's not just gaming, and Alex has mainly been working on cinematics, but I know that you want to do a hell of a lot more with it. So
Absolutely.
definitely check those out and subscribe if you like the content, and subscribe here if you want to hear more of our random ramblings. Right, guys.
To be honest, I just have to really quickly mention the things that we talked about wasn't really scripted. So, you know, we do have the topics that we talk about, but it's like you see this thing, we talk about it, and it just goes from there. So I feel like you should know that as well, that it's not scripted, the entire thing, everything we've said. We've been improvising, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way podcasts should be. I don't like scripted stuff. Like you said, we've obviously got our talk points, but that's about it. That's all we have in front of us. And like I said earlier, I've had a lot of fun doing it. It feels quite natural, and we're definitely going to be doing a hell of a lot more of these. So if you do want to see more, then slam that like button, obviously, and hit the big red subscribe button as well. And obviously, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to us, and we will see you in the next one.